Okay, hello. We're doing another Q&A session, Charting Companion. If anyone has any questions, Dorothy wants to know how to do no, you basically using the DNA simulator.
Right.
Uh, well, first off, I wanted to show for people that because this will be recorded. Oh, yeah, I'm not sharing my screen. Uh, and then let me go. Yes, YouTube slash then at FTM dash plugins. That will bring you to this uh, page. This is where all the videos go for I do for Terran Companion and Family Book Creator. And then if you subscribe to it, doesn't cost anything. You just if you go onto your subscriptions, you'll see all the channels that you subscribe to, so any new channels will come in here. And if you do a search for the simulator, oh, whoops, that's not doing. Hang on, let me. Oh, search down here. Simulator. You'll see in the ones that I've tagged with it. And this is one specifically on using the DNA simulator. But I do highly stress that you know how to do the DNA matrix chart first, because that really relies on this. Uh, but I will go through this. Let me because okay, just as a quick recap, any people, let me just go here to Evelyn. You create a match file and you have this DNA markers fact. This is from my ancestry trees, which I have Dylan, Bernie, I'm muting you or
Yeah. To build the website you need. It's cool. Where some of the
well, that
members,
may be fine for right now. Uh, as I use a tool called DNA Match Manager, which still works, surprisingly, to download your ancestry data. Um, and let's see, where is that? I'm just pulling this up in another.
I also have a video going over it. I'll just post that in the chat.
Yeah.
You go ahead, carry on here. We'll
But
do
yeah,
this.
this basically looks like this, where basically it creates,
Probably more
it,
complete than
it
mine.
gives the match IDs. Here's my ID. Here's the DNA that we share. Uh, so so I'm gonna launch Charting Companion. And basically you set up, you're going to do a descendants chart, you pick which facts you want to be displayed, uh how you want the layout. I like having the spouse listed below. I mean, that's my personal preference. Uh, then colors, I like doing it by gender, and then for that. And then on the DNA matrix tab, you just gotta make sure that the display DNA matrix is ticked, and then you click preview. Then this first time, oh, what's this? Oh, error duplicate kits found. Oh, that's interesting. Oh. Yeah. I was doing some experimenting and Yeah, I think it's still running though. Uh, I was doing some experimenting and I put a test kit number in my grandpa, but um, oh, I'm going to do one more thing just because this is recording. I want to anonymize living people. Fortunately, the second time it won't come out. It doesn't uh, take as long. Whoops. Yeah, you can move boxes around. But basically, it's like, let me just zoom out some. I should have probably done a smaller box, but and now see, I do have a little red because I found it's like, I think my grandma is actually a half sibling to her other siblings. Um, but otherwise, you have to make sure that there's no reds before you do the simulator, because that's saying these things are out of bound for that relationship. Uh,
Right.
so this doesn't work for that case. And actually, let me just switch to a different person here. Because if we're gonna do the um, if we're gonna be doing second here. I'm gonna do a quick, yeah. Because if we're gonna do a simulator, this is a good one from her that's really great on the simulator. And this shouldn't show any reds. Because I've got like Norwegian on both my mother's and father's side, and so I've got some cross matches that kind of make it a little kind of tough. So, okay, so here we've got the matches. These ones with this little cyan color, this is using the these are the ones with the DNA kits because I use the color coding in I use the color coding in Family Tree Maker. So these ones with the uh things have DNA markers facts. Some of these don't all have data in Ancestry. Some are from MyHeritage, and so they don't show up here. But basically, there is no red, so that's good. And now the story goes, my my aunt, which is where is she? Right here. This is my uncle's wife, so there is no term for an aunt-in-law. Now she was her mom never told her who her father was. Um, and I did find out who it was. It was this well, no, that's her mother. So this is showing her mother's side. But anyway, I did find out who it was. But there was a cluster of people that they all shared matches with each other who who I mean I didn't know who they were. Some didn't have tree. One of them had a tree, but nothing. I mean, without knowing who her father was, it's no way of placing it. But so I actually reached out to them and asked, it's like, hey, do you know how you're related to each of these other people? And two people responded, and it turned out that four of these matches, it was four women. They were mother-daughter pairs, and the mothers were half siblings. And the common link was this man who they said was a womanizing alcoholic. But So here, so I know how one person matched a group of four people. So I went into, let me close out this. And that's this Malianch. Malianch. Or Peter Malianch. There we go. Had here's the two the half sisters, Mona and Sharon, and then they each had a Cheryl and Kathy. And I've got their DNA facts all in here. So and this Peter was this womanizing alcoholic and so and I know this is on her father's side, so let me go to here's Janice. So this is her father, this is her grandfather. Uh that have built out Fred and Pauline. So I know it's somewhere along this side. It could be on either one of these. So it's like, okay, so I know from the shared matches it's on her father's side. So I go into here, I start from you got to start for who you believe is the known ancestor. So it's so I know it's on this side. So I'm gonna do a DNA matrix chart. And if I do a DNA matrix, and it's a good idea before you actually run the simulator, do the DNA matrix just to make sure you've got no red marks. Because if you got any red marks, the simulator will find zero scenarios.
And
And
the
lo and
reason for
behold,
that is that uh, the way the simulator determines whether a scenario is feasible or not is it builds the tree, then it
yeah,
looks for red marks. And unfortunately, at the present time, it doesn't remember the red marks that were already there. It
yeah,
considers them. I have, at John's request, I've logged an enhancement to ignore the existing red marks when you're building a tree. So
yeah.
I'll work
So
on that.
hopefully in a future update.
Yeah.
But anyway, for right now, it's like there are no red marks, so that's good. So now I go back here and now I'll go to the DNA simulator. And here I was working on another one. So uh, let me just go to genealogy to do. And then I'm going to create a new folder, test sim. I gotta move these face. Okay, so I select that. I'm gonna just give it a nest, the Malianch. Okay, and now I tell it who do I want to place. Now, even though it didn't test, the common person was that oh, who was that? Fred Malianch? Let me or yeah, hang on here. No, that was that Peter Malianch. So I'm telling Charting Companion I want to place Peter Malianch, and I believe he's a descendant of this Fred and Pauline. And then yeah, you can go through, approximate ages, age range for parents, stuff like that. Tell it to insert people, and what it will do is it will go
Okay.
through and try to find.
You got to click on perform simulation there.
Oh, that's right. Yep, that's right. That's right. Yeah, perform simulation, not preview. And now it's going to go through every scenario. Oh, this one actually came up with one. This one shouldn't have come up with any. Um, because, okay, where did it insert?
We're looking for PZ, eh? PZ?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
WW.
Uh, Over on the left there, there's a, okay. What's,
Yeah.
yeah, there's a small square under SCG. How come it's squashed? Yeah, oh, it's unknown. The blue square is
Yeah,
unknown.
it's an unknown spouse.
So we ought to see a PZ here.
Yeah. Well, see, actually, in this scenario, there should be no scenarios.
Okay, because he doesn't place.
Yeah, because what I had to do was, I'll tell you what, let me just do something here. Let me just turn off that anonymize once.
What happened to
Yeah,
PZ?
this didn't actually do the simulation.
Huh. Uh,
Well, it didn't do any because there should have been inserted spouses because it um there shouldn't be really any valid scenarios in this.
what about some of the lower ones? How many? There's just two there. There's another one.
Yeah, no, that's just two scenarios.
That's weird.
And before, in all the times, I mean, I've been doing this simulation, it shouldn't have come up with any. Uh, because where it is it's one generation further. So it's actually from one of these parents. So I said it's Zamolinsky or Marichuk. It's one of their parents. And then I just like throwing in a spouse, even though I don't know who it is. So this person is either the parents of either Fred or Pauline. I don't know which one. And for the scenario, it doesn't matter. It's just uh, it's one generation up. Um, and now when I do this and perform the simulation, I should get some valid scenarios here. Yeah,
Could you have
thinking.
increased the number of generations?
Uh, no, five is plenty. So yeah, you can see, okay, I've got 12 scenarios. This is more than what, let's see.
Is Peter Zeminski connected to anybody? He should not be. He should be an island.
Yeah, he should be just him with, okay, why isn't this working? These are all showing up the same.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm obscure. Is Peter your subject? Is he connected to anybody in the database?
Peter is only connected to, because I was,
Show me the
well, here, let me,
guy
hold on.
that.
Let me just go back here and just double check.
Show me the subject.
I want to just verify. Okay, Peter Zemelinsky. I want to
Malinsky.
make sure I've got the right person first.
Yeah.
Oh, because yeah, okay. My mistake. I picked the wrong person.
Okay.
This is why it's not coming out. Okay.
Well, why isn't
Let me
it
go back
showing up?
here because because it's not this is why it's not. because it's not Peter, it's this Peter Malianch. There we go. Okay. Sorry about the confusion. Okay, so now I went back to the original person because this one should not come up with any valid scenarios. Yeah, yeah. That's what I get for not verifying the name.
Well, you were saying Malinich, but you were selecting Zemelinsky, but I
Yeah,
figured that
yeah,
was his adopted name or something.
yeah. See, zero scenarios. That's how it should be. Because now if I go up to, one of their parents, that's where I said that Zemelinsky or Merchuk. And now to perform the simulation. And now it came up, okay, yeah, see here, inserted person. I'm going to just scroll all the way to the end here. And I believe it should come up with, yep, 6 scenarios.
Right?
So,
Where is he?
yeah, he's like right here. Here's Peter Malianch,
Okay.
uh, 2 daughters, and, well, I don't know. Why didn't the other daughter show up? Well, it doesn't really matter, but now I gotta look why that other daughter's not showing up. But well, anyway, it's using three. So basically, it's saying uh, this Mona was like a second cousin. Second cousin. So basically, they're saying, okay, this is my aunt, this is her father. So this is basically saying, okay, that Peter Malianch, the alcoholic womanizer, would actually be okay. That's a sibling, so that would be a first cousin. Yeah. So Peter's a first cousin to her biological father. So basically he's a sibling of one of those two, of Pauline or what's his name? Fred. Oops, let me go back here.
Cool.
Uh
That's
so
interesting.
yeah, so that, and then you can also look at the percentages. Well, that's like 8%. Oh yeah, see this kind of overwrites a little. Another is saying, okay, he's a first cousin once removed. That seems a little unlikely based on he was born in 1895 and her father in 1906. But it is still feasible.
What else you got? Oh yeah, three.
Then it goes down yet another
That's pretty
generation.
remote.
Yeah, so
Unlikely.
that's a little less likely. Now here's one where it says, okay, he's PM is a half sibling to uh this is my aunt, so to her grandfather. Um that yeah, 1884 to have a sibling 1895. I mean, that's 11 years. That's not that great of a difference between siblings. And then here, okay, he's the grandchild of a half sibling and a great great grandchild. So basically, they're saying, uh,
Have you pursued any of these hypotheses, John?
right now, no, because my aunt really hasn't cared, and I've got other stuff, and this is and I've kind of purposely kept it like this because I feel this is a good training scenario to show. And if I figure it out, well, then it's not so much. But this does give a perfect example of where, okay, you can start doing some more targeted either DNA testing or just start searching. It's like, okay, uh, because this Fred, I haven't really bothered to check, okay, does he have any siblings? And did like the Zamolinsky or Marichuk, I mean, did Zamolinsky have a daughter who married Malinch, or did Marichuk have a sister? This did Pauline have a sister who maybe married a Malinch? It's But I mean that's where you start using the regular DNA or your regular genealogy work to start researching and stuff. So, but like I said, my aunt wasn't interested. And like I said, and I at this point I've kind of purposely not pursued it just because I think it is a good training thing. It doesn't because sometimes you do a simulator and it will come up with 70 or 100 scenarios to try to work out, and at six it's not too bad. And then you can also work out you could also help possibly narrow out because uh I could say contact some of these other people like the CLE or CLF TG and ask them, hey, do you know how much DNA you share with this Mona or the Sharon or KW? Because if I know how much DNA they share with these people, uh,
Oh,
that can help possibly narrow down a few possibilities. Or likewise, this BWJ, that's her half sibling. Uh, on our father's side, how much DNA he matches these people. That can help. And TT, he's never contacted me. So, but then this is also something now with the Pro Tools and Ancestry. I could actually go through and find out. I just haven't had the time to dedicate, so I haven't subscribed to it. So that is another thing I could do is with Pro Tools now in Ancestry, I can find out how much DNA this TT, this Terrence matches these four people. I can find out how BWJ matches these people, how CLE, CLF match. So then that can help further narrow it down. So,
that's pretty cool. Very impressive.
yeah,
A lot of research there.
yeah. Because I mean, but basically, there's two scenarios. He's either uh, like I said, descended from a brother or sister. And like I said, it could be from either one of these two, or he's a half sibling or descended from a half sibling. Uh,
Uh, Dorothy, for Dorothy's benefit, you follow what that inserted person is, Dorothy? You
yeah,
follow that?
Yes, yes, I am. I guess that's the um, supposed parent of the orphan.
There are
yeah,
hypothetical people that would satisfy the relationship.
right.
They basically they're extramarital relationships
Yeah,
that are often the source of adoptions and so on.
yeah.
We
And
throw
back
people
this
in.
far, one of the spouses could have died, and like I said, this could easily be could actually be a woman, and then she could have had two husbands or divorced, or one died, and so I mean, for all I know, this could be the woman and her second husband might have been a Malianch. It could be that simple.
But that's the whole purpose of this is to present hypotheses you might
Yeah.
never even have considered.
But like I said, so it tells me where to concentrate and really this would be the thing is like, okay, I got to start building out Fred and Pauline's trees, is to find out, okay, who are their parents? Who are their siblings? Uh, and then hopefully then find a thing where it matches the lineage. So, and this is covered also in that, on that simulator, because I go through this scenario. Um,
Cool.
but basically, and in it, it's like you just got to start from a known person, tell it who you want to place, and then it will go through all the scenarios on where this person might fit into your tree. So,
And there
So
are a
in
lot of
a way, in a way, you sort of when you mentioned about there should be no red flags or red people that turn up, you can't have any red ones. Oh, what am I trying to say? Does it mean that I have to put people where I think I know they would be based on the number of
yeah.
centimorgans they
Well,
share?
well, well,
no.
yeah. Well, here, let me go back to um let me go back to like my tree or well, this is all on my tree, but let me
You don't have to place the orphan, but you have to start with the subject to a person who's at the top of the umbrella,
yeah,
who like John said, it's the ancestor of the patriarch or matriarch that encompasses all the people with the tests.
because well, here, let me do this from my dad. Let me just show you a quick trip from my dad because my dad adopted my two older brothers. And so if I just do a DNA chart, I'm not doing a simulation, I'm just doing a chart. Um, my brother is going to show as a red flag because he's my half sibling and not a full sibling. Yeah, let me just. Yeah, so these people are all flagged because these are half siblings. Because these are my two older brothers, which are actually from my mom's first husband. So all these are really, I could never do a simulator with this the way this is. So um, because those are showing as any simulator, if it sees any red, it says, okay, that's not a valid scenario. Well, since I've got invalid scenarios right now, it won't work. So if I would do it from here, what I would do is I would have to detach them from my biologic, from their adopted father. So, oops. So now if I do this, there won't be any red, but it also won't show my two brothers. So yeah, because see, it's just going to show my two sisters and my niece. Yeah, let me move that because my mother's in there. But at least this way, now I could run a simulator with this scenario because there is no red. So,
Ooh.
but that's why. And like I said, if I do this for my mom, it does recognize uh, the spouses, but my dad was only married once. So let me just undo the detachment. So my dad is showing well as their adopted father. But see now if I do the same scenario with from my mother, Trary Companion will pick up that uh, she had two husbands and it follows the biological connection. So and that so here's from our first husband, so my two brothers, and then with my father, those three. And then it does properly show, you know, half niece, half brother, half uncle. It properly shows those relationships, and let me just move that over more. So yeah, yeah. Sometimes you can. So my niece there. So yeah. See, and then see it does. Yeah, it recognizes the half relationship. Like I said, that's just something to be aware of when you run the simulator. Um, so,
Very
but
impressive.
so, any other questions? Or you just, this new
Are
update.
we saying then that when we're creating an orphan, creating a we're creating a hypothetical person?
Yeah, because what you'll do is because when I created that orphan for
Mm-hmm.
on the Malian that Peter Malianch,
Mm-hmm.
um, you'll see on here it says there is no direct relationship found here.
Right. Yeah, it has to be an island, an isolated.
Yeah, because
It's
if
not a
I
hype.
if I if I do like a just a chart from here, because basically it's Peter. I know is married to Paul, and then this Pearl and Schelling, and then it's like, and I just put in it's like, okay, I know Peter and Paul had four kids. I don't know who they are, but I know they had four.
Dorothy,
Uh,
it's a real person. It's not a hypothetical person. It's a real
yeah,
person
yeah, it's
because
a real person.
you need someone to
Sharon, and like I
associate
said, I put in, yeah, the DNA.
the DNA test. You need somebody to associate the DNA tests with.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Right.
So
Yes. Yes.
So I basically had these five, and I don't know, I might have accidentally edited one of these so one of these DNA kits doesn't match up. Or so basically, this is like an island of a very small people. Sometimes you've only got one person, but you got
Mm.
multiple people, how they match. So yeah, you may have just a lone person, and I do have some because I've got, where is it? Well, I've got this ACC 1107, who I don't know how match. Somehow I have found out that this is their mother. Oh yeah, no, this one I do know how they fit. So that isn't a good example. I don't know who that particular person is, but I know how they fit. But that was because of their parents that tested. That's these. But I do have, yeah, I don't know. I do have, no, that's not. Oh, here's one. Yeah, here's someone that's like, I have no idea who she is. I not contacted. It's just basic stuff I'd be able to figure out. And this I pulled from her tree and stuff, but through shared matches, I know it's on my dad's side. And using the simulator, all I know is that she's descended from one of my grandfather's siblings. Which one? I don't know. There's 10 of them.
Hmm.
So, but and actually, and that's one of the things that when I go into one of these days, I'll subscribe to the Pro Tools and I'll find out how much data she matches to all the known people in my tree. So that might at least help narrow it down some. Um, but basically, it's all based. I mean, this building out here was just well, it's like apart from her tree and stuff I found out. Um, but when I do it, it's like, no, I'm placing Julie. I'll tell it, okay, try to place this Julie. Um, and go from there. But like I said, that's something like for, the pro when I've got time to go through the Pro Tools and stuff. So, but yeah, I'll be just telling it to place Julie because she's the only one in this group that I know of that has taken a DNA test. So in that case, then I tell it to uh, I'm trying to stop sharing my screen. Oh, that's right. There we go. Um, yeah, the new Zoom updated a while back and they like rearranging stuff. So, but so any other questions?
No, it's great. Very good example.
Yeah. Else I can let me just go back here something.
I mean, I suppose it's quite similar to I've been using DNA Painter for the hypothesis to work out the possible parent of this man's father, and I've made a tree as well. But I suppose the beauty of this is that, excuse me, um, I'm going to be working on all of the people in the tree, not just.
Yeah, because it will work on a lot of data. As a matter of, I mean, I worked on one, and I mean, this was I think back in Charting Companion 7 even, and I know I was like, I've done a lot of emails to like Pierre. It's like, well, I need more memory, because it's like, because I mean, there's this one simulator. I mean, it used so much resources. It couldn't run under Family Tree Maker. It used too many resources. So I actually had to export a GEDCOM and then load the GEDCOM directly to run the simulator. because I had a load like I don't know, it was like 120 match files.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, some
Because I had on my dad's mother's side, because I had to start from I think my fourth great grandparents
Mm.
through this Johann Fassbender. And I knew how this Gary Fassbender and his daughter, I never did match his son. Um, but like Gary's like my fourth cousin once removed. So I mean it's not surprising that we didn't match. But then there's others along the lines, his cousins and stuff we matched. And so I knew how all those matched. So I knew I had the match data from Gary. I matched all of us. And then I had a group of five people. It was a mother and four kids. Uh, the mother's maiden name was actually Fossbinder. And I was able to run a simulation of how me and my family and a couple cousins matched those five along with Gary and those five and how they matched us and to come and I came up with like four scenarios where they fit into my tree. And I found out and I thought I finally figured it out until probably about 2 months ago. I found the marriage certificate for one of her ancestors who was the placing one of the people I started to place. And I found out who his parents were, and I didn't have them in my tree and don't know where they would fit in my tree. So it's like I might have to go up yet another generation to see where they fit.
some DNA files are so big they exceed the 32-bit address space.
Yeah.
They exceed 2 gig of memory. So thank God for 64-bit, which
Yeah.
most computers are nowadays.
So I mean, but I mean that use like just a massive number of matches and stuff like that. So I mean, I use data from Ancestry, from GEDmatch, from MyHeritage, Family Tree DNA. I mean, it's like you name it, I used it. So, but anyway, so and that's like one thing that uh like that Watto, that what are the odds
Mm.
thing, you can't match how a group of people match another group of people.
Mm.
Do how one person matches a group or how the group matches one person. You can't compare how a group of people match another group of people. You got to
Mm.
do tricks to budget to work. So
Mm.
and plus I like it, it takes the data right from your tree
Mm.
and you don't have to recreate it yet again.
DNA, Watto is quite time consuming,
Yeah.
unless you can import a GEDCOM. But as you say, a question has come to mind from what you were saying before. As an example, this person that I'm looking for, this unknown parent, I actually do DNA match the son from my paternal side, but in a small way, because I'm further away. I'm from one of the other cousins. So if I upload this CSV file, like you were talking about before, how to give myself an ID for this CSV file
Hmm.
from my heritage, do I become a red flag then? In the
No, you
do I?
shouldn't. No, you
Do,
shouldn't. Because like I said, you assign that DNA to yourself, and while I'm at it, let me get rid of that. There. So that gets rid of that one. No, you just create one for yourself, and what you call it doesn't really matter.
hmm,
Just so long as it's something unique. Otherwise, you get that one error message where it says, "Hey, I found two people with the same DNA info."
hmm,
Because then, fortunately for what I was doing, it didn't matter. But otherwise, it's like if it sees DNA for a match data for that one person that's been duplicated in the tree, it doesn't really know which person to assign it to. Or it may assign it to both of them, which may really throw off stuff. And
Right.
because, well, that one is like me and my grandfather, and it's like, well, it may fit for me, but for my grandfather, that's like two generations probably closer to the match. So it's
Mm.
like um that may throw a flag, but that's just assigning a DNA kit to the wrong person. So, but
Right.
but yeah, it's like the big thing is like when you are going to do the simulator is like run the DNA matrix first just to make sure
Hmm.
that there are no reds.
Sure.
And one thing to do is let me just do this again here real quick. Um, am I sharing my screen or not?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Uh, because yeah, I'm just doing the DNA matrix because this should show up the red. But one thing to be concerned, because I'm not sure what the default settings are because I keep messing around with the settings. Yeah, see they're red there. Um, you have to make sure that the probability is turned on, the show probability percent. Because with
Mm.
that off, and then you preview, uh, there won't be any red, but that doesn't mean I can go run that doesn't mean I can go run the simulator because it will still flag these will still be invalid things, because 1563 is not the proper range for a full blood brother,
No. No.
a half brother, but some people think, well, there's no red. Well, see, it's not showing the probability. That's why there's no red.
Right.
So, so. Oh, out of curiosity, Pierre, did anyone ever email you about they wanted the option of changing the color of
I
that
saw
red?
that. Yes, good idea. It would never have occurred to me that that would be a problem.
Because some people just this lady just has a difficulty
Yeah.
reading that color. So,
Oh, sorry about that. So I added it to my list of enhancements.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know if they contacted you directly or not, but
I
yeah.
saw it in, yeah, they did. They contacted me through the contact us through the support. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So,
So I replied to them. It's a good idea. So many things.
so yeah. And well, we still got some time. There are some new features I like they show age at event. This is a neat event, where it tells you how old they were, So my mom was 20 when she got married,
Yeah, that's
83 when she
cool.
passed away.
Yeah.
Sister, Mariah got married at 22, 20, and 40. My brother's been married three times, but uh and I and I also like this
The box height, that's in there.
yeah, this compact last generation. I think this was I don't know, is this a new feature? I didn't notice it. I'll hold it.
It's new, yeah. I think so.
Well, this one it doesn't show up that much. Yeah, because there aren't
No.
siblings.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of,
Um,
and I don't think it would work with the DNA matrix as well.
it does work. I don't like it. I like it on the descendants chart. I don't like it on the DNA matrix. It does work on the
No.
DNA matrix,
Oh yeah, okay.
but I don't like it on there
No.
because the siblings will overlap.
They
So
all get overlapped. Yeah, it's not designed
so,
for that.
but yeah, and then the box heights. You can have same heights within the generation or throughout the chart,
Yeah,
you know.
good.
So some people like a more consistent look, and others say,
Sure.
well, I just want them as small as possible to fit as much as possible. So, but well, like I said, there's lots of things you can change the line widths, uh, colors, if you want by lineage. I like how you can do by X chromosome. That can be handy when you're doing some Y-DNA or mtDNA. Uh, Descendants, like I said, you can do stuff with just the Y DNA or mitochondrial DNA. And oh yeah, I did mitochondrial for my dad. And it's like, well, no chart there.
Yeah,
But, if you are concentrating on that, then, you know, it does allow you to do that. Um, uh,
Things I've found is that, particularly I've talked about it a bit on Facebook. Um, what did I talk about? With my book from my nana's biological parents. One of my daughters said, "Oh, Mum, I was expecting to see a big chart." And I thought, oh, okay, that would be quite good. But what comes to mind from what you're just saying is that you really need birth dates and dates of death, because how can it generate possibilities?
yeah, and that is one thing I do cover in that one video on the DNA simulator, because before I didn't have like some dates
Mm,
on like that Malinch, and so it was kind of coming down as like, oh well, this might be your great great grandchild or something like that. It's like, okay, well, because I
mm,
didn't have like an age for that Peter Malinch, so it's like even if you can guesstimate the age,
mm, mm,
that can really help.
mm,
Uh, so but yeah, it's like watch that one video because yeah,
mm,
if you can guesstimate an age at that person, that can help narrow down the possibilities because that's where um because that's where like these things here, like minimum parent age, years per generation, and stuff like that goes into play. So
It's interesting, the minimum parent age, because at the moment, via all the DNA matches and how close this person matches to all of these supposed cousins and uncles and aunties, I'm proposing, my hypothesis is that the eldest child would have been 17 at the time that this person's father was born
yeah.
in 1957. So,
well,
and of
yeah,
course,
you could drop this down to like
oh,
15
right, right,
and
right, right, right. Yeah, right.
so
So, yeah, right.
and like I said, it's like I well, it's not on my tree, but I mean I know I was working on a client's tree, and his father was 74 when he was born.
Wow,
I mean, his mother was 30 and she was like his third wife, and I mean they had like 5 kids together or something, but
that's old.
so yeah, there are some scenarios, where it's like, to take into account, but
Mm-hmm.
gotta admit that is, you know, not the
Your
norm,
case. No.
so
Except for Charlie Chaplin.
yeah. And I think James Doohan plays Scotty from Star Trek. I mean, I think he was 80 when he had a child.
Mm,
So,
mm,
but
mm,
or he is up there anyway. I'm not sure of the exact age, but um so
mm,
but yeah, this is stuff, if you want to, you can play with that and
mm.
so
I'm excited. Thank you very much. I feel I
Yeah.
had a little play with it and I thought, oh, I really don't know what I'm doing yet.
Yeah.
But that's how you start.
And when it does perform these simulations, if one thing to remember is when you do it, you may want to periodically change the chart name, because if you tweak something, do it, it's going to wipe out the previous simulation unless you change the name. And let me just go, because this was in my genealogy to do. I did what? Test simulation. Yeah. Yeah, and this is what it actually creates. So that file that popped up was this Mali HTML, which is what I called it here. And all this does is basically it pulls up these scenarios. But let's just say you're working with a cousin, or, something, and let's just say you realize, okay, say this is a potential one. Let's just say this one and this one really doesn't, but maybe that one does. So you look at that Mali 341 and 337. You look back here, okay, see, here are these individual files. So there's the 337, there's the 341. So if you'd want to, rather than say, if you just email them this HTML file, it it needs these PNG files, but like you said, you can just send these individual images and say, hey, what do you think about this? As where it might fit. So, and like I said, and if you want to keep this but tweak something else, you can just say, maybe call it Mali 2 or something.
Mm, mm, mm.
And then it won't overwrite these, but then the next scenario will be Mali 2.html, then Mali 2, then these numbers are just kind of the scenarios it's gone through to see it. So you can see it went through at least a minimum of 343 scenarios to see where those trees might line up. So, and then likewise you can save them, and I mean, I've got some. I could probably, let's see, because that's documents. I show, yeah, because like here's one I did for this body. This is something yeah, I was working on. Well, it's an extended branch of my tree. So it's I save that, and yeah, here's one of those with that Fassbender simulation for. Yeah, but yeah, well, this like I said, these are like these are like big
Wow,
scenarios. So
that's impressive.
like I said, it's a lot of
Cool.
data. So
That's really cool.
It's really good for visual learners. Most people are a mixture of the three,
yeah,
kinesthetic, audio, and visual, but some people, particularly at family reunions and things, it's all very well for me to have written all the explanations about what a sentinel organ is and things like that, and how I've proved and this sort of thing. But it's a really good visual tool.
yeah.
Um, I'm
Chart
excited.
charts are a big wow factor at reunions and stuff. And
Mm,
I didn't do charts for the family reunions this year, but I was doing family history books this year, so
mm,
that
mm.
took all my time and effort. So it's like, I don't want to do the charts this year. Because then it's like, yeah, I mean, if I really want to, I could have just sent it, because a buddy of mine's got the plotter. It's like I could have just sent the files to him and he would have done it, and I would have just had to swing by, pick them up, probably drop them off some extra paper, and so. But um, where's that one? I think is it. Yeah, fan charts are a big chart or a big
Mm.
thing here. This is one I did for a client.
Ooh, nice. Wow.
And it's like, and I had to match these colors because there's 10 descendants. And they have a reunion like every 2 or 3 years, and each year they've got their own colored name tags based on who
Oh,
they're descended from.
Oh, I
cool.
love that. I love that.
So I did this so that they can print them
Mm.
out at their reunions, and I did stuff for, oh yeah, that's a PDF. I did 4 generations, 5 generations, 6 generations if they want. I mean, it gets,
I
yeah,
always imagine those fan charts like opening up like that.
yeah,
Fold them right in, put them in the back of the book, and then when you get that, you just open it up like that.
yeah. Then that's just a straight descendants chart. So, and
Cool.
I
That's
mean, that
exciting.
was like, I mean, that was close to that 200-inch limit for PDF, but there are ways around that by saving it's like HTML or an what is it, EXF format for
As
an image?
SVG or DXF, yeah. DXF.
DXF, yeah, for an image file and stuff. So there are ways if you are over uh I know the first time, as a matter of fact, the reason why I got Charting Companion, this is back in Charting Companion 5, is for that first reunion, I wanted to print out a descendants chart and it was like 40, 45 feet long. So, but that was like hooked up directly to the plotter to print it out and stuff. So I didn't have to worry about doing a PDF file um and
Nice.
since then I found out, yes, that was impressive, but no one wanted the whole thing at the end of the day. They wanted
Mm,
maybe their section of it. So future ones, I did like 11 smaller charts, because it's like my grandma was the oldest of 11 kids. So, okay, I did one chart for each child. So,
mm.
but anyway,
Well, that's great. Very impressive, John.
so
Thank you.
yeah,
Very excited now.
yeah,
Start playing now. Mm,
yeah. Yeah, like I said, and yeah, just play around with the different charts, and it's um I even like if you like doing family group sheets.
mm,
I like doing them in Charting Companion because you can tell it to do like all the descendants for all the ancestors.
mm.
So, where most stuff is like, okay, you gotta go to this couple, print it, go to this couple, print it, it's like if I did it once from those ones for that thing, and I mean from like my grandma, who oldest 11 kids, I did from CB and Gladys and told, okay, do family group sheets for all the children and all their descendants. And I mean, I think that was like about 450 pages,
Mm,
because, well, there's over well, and now it might even be more because I mean, there's over counting spouses and stuff. There's over 1,000 people involved. So,
mm.
so they were prolific. So,
I just hope I hang around long enough to get it all done.
yeah. Well, like I said, don't be afraid to experiment and play.
Yes. Yes. Mm,
I love the fan charts.
mm,
Uh, if
mm,
I'm sending to people, I like the outline descendants reports. Even though like every genealogy program's got them, I prefer the ones from Turing Companion because it's
mm,
got the lines that show the descendants.
mm.
Um, yeah,
It's quite distinctive because if you have to fish for someone or look for someone that you sort
Yeah,
of,
to me it's a little bit clearer, as to where the generations are with these lines.
mm, mm,
So,
definitely.
then the fan charts and stuff like that. And you can also do some fun stuff with the bow tie charts. Um, I'm going to just bring this up because I actually had to do two and combine them for this one person. Uh, where are we? Here we are. That was. Now I gotta just remember what I called it. Is that the line descendancy? I wonder, did I send this to him? No. Well, I'm gonna stop sharing real quick. But using the yeah, let me just go through this and find it real quick. Oh, yeah, that's not it. That's not it. Ancient descendants. That was well, it involves using the prune feature. Because let's see. Okay, well, yeah, here's the one I showed from the first because I used the bow tie chart. Um, I'm going to share this and oh, here's the zoom. I don't want to show too much, but basically this goes through is I did a bow tie chart from Arthur Piers Brown, so his ancestors and descendants. But basically I was able to show, then I could highlight just certain ancestors for, oh, here's Sons of the American Revolution. And here's his Mayflower connections. So I can do the bow tie chart, then it's like, okay, I want to select this person, select this person. You select the various people you want, and then I selected him at the end. I won't show him because he's still living. And then you just tell it to prune the chart, and then you're left with this. So how he is related to these key ancestors. And this is an older one because since then I found even more Sons of the American Revolution stuff. But this Levi Lawrence is the connection where he is actually in the Sons of the American Revolution, and Stephen Hopkins for the Mayflower. So that won't mean much to you in New Zealand, but Dorothy, but so
For
so
myself, it does in terms of my ancestors from Ireland came to New Zealand, but they also went to the USA via the Mayflower
yeah.
after the potato after the potato famine or during.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But I haven't to be honest, I haven't delved into all that side. I just know about it from my father telling us many years ago.
Yeah.
And subsequently, I DNA match a lot of people in the USA via my father, my
Yeah.
Irish roots. Yeah, yeah.
So, but
Hmm.
yeah, that's using the prune feature, and it's like that's a handy feature, for
Hmm.
showing how people are if you want to just key certain people, and you can also do that with descendants. If you want to see like how a few cousins are all related, and that's actually what the DNA matrix actually does.
Hmm.
Because it finds your DNA matches and it selects them and then prunes everyone else that's not a DNA match. So, and just
That's what I
leaves.
like about it, the potential of that. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Well, thanks
Mm.
very much, Sean. It's 11:30. It's moving on 11:30. So I'm going to bow out here.
yeah,
It's a pleasure meeting you, Joe
yeah,
and Dorothy. And thanks very much for your time. John,
And you.
we'll see you tomorrow morning.
yeah. See you, Pierre.
Thank
Pierre.
you very
Thanks for
much for doing
coming.
this.
So,
Okay. Bye-bye.
yeah. So, any other questions? Or yeah, we can wrap this up so and like I said in the group, feel free to ask any questions. So,
I think when you have a start to get a little bit of knowledge, that's when I find the questions I need to ask.
yeah,
um, yeah, generally, that's what happens, doesn't it? Mm.
yeah.
Good meeting, John. Thanks.
Yeah, no problem, Joe.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So, yeah, well, like I said, and I mean, we've had several of these Q&A sessions. We'll have more later on. And if there's anything you want to specialize on, I mean, we can usually set up something, just for that and to concentrate on certain things. And so, and like I said, you can always ask in the groups, and we may already have some videos we could point you to or just walk you through stuff too. So, I mean, it's the DNA matrix. Sometimes it can be tough to kind of wrap your head around, but once you do, I find it's real easy to keep up with and maintain, because I mean, once you got the basics down, it's like you can either add the new match data as you get new matches, and then it's just a matter of adding those IDs to the corresponding people in the tree. So it's uh
Mm.
it's real easy to just keep adding. So anyway, well, we'll wrap this up, and like I said, this is being recorded, so it will maybe tomorrow, I don't know, tomorrow morning I'm gonna be busy all morning, so if I don't get up by tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, uh so I'm about within 8 hours it'll be up. If not in well, not 8 hours. Within 24 hours it'll be up. But it might be up within a couple hours. It depends upon bu how busy I get tonight. So, but anyway. So, well, take care, and we'll see you in the board. So,
Thank you.
okay,
Bye-bye.
take care.
Chat later. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.